It's pretty well known among Squadrons players the best way to take down an enemy flagship is to destroy its subsystems first. Eliminate the shield generators to take care of that recharging health bar. Take out the power systems to reveal critical hit spots on the flagship's hull. But there's one subsystem that is often ignored and derided by much of the community. Oh, what's up you guys? I'm not amazing, I'm just mediocre, and we're here today to talk about the importance of the targeting system on the enemy flagship, and why you should actually be going out of your way to destroy this vital subsystem. And it has to do with passive damage. If you didn't know, whenever your team is on the offense, you are constantly doing passive damage to the enemy's ships, specifically their objectives. If you look over here at these two different frigates, you can see one frigate that has the raider on it is getting damaged, but the other frigate has nobody attacking it and it still has some health bar down. Here we have that raider or corvette, extremely important and valuable. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second, taking down the shields on Delta. But over here on Charlie, there's very clearly no other players on this map in my solo custom game, yet there's still damage draining from that bar. This is the passive damage that I'm talking about, and it happens at a rate of about 1 health point every 2 seconds. You can see this in fast forward. However, this passive damage will never actually destroy the objective. It will only ever take it down to about 15% hull health, and it will be up to you to actually finish off that objective by delivering the finishing blows. The same is very much true of the enemy flagship. Whenever you're on offense, you are constantly doing passive damage to that flagship at a rate of about 1% every 2 seconds, but it will once again stop right there around 15%, and it's going to be up to you, the player, to destroy that flagship. With one exception, there is one AI controlled ship that is able to take down the objectives, and that's your raider or corvette. This is the only AI ship that is actually capable of finishing off the objectives. And this is why it is such an actually extremely valuable asset to protect whenever you're on offense, and an equally important asset to destroy whenever you're on the defense. So if you're the objective player on defense, not only should you be AI farming, but you should also be prioritizing the destruction of that enemy raider or corvette. Not only is it going to give you that huge boost of morale points, but you're also preventing a ton of damage from happening, and also stopping the only AI ship that's capable of destroying your objectives. Just take a look at the kind of havoc a corvette and passive damage can wreak when left unchecked. In the 3 minutes it takes me to farm enough AI to flip morale back to my side, they're able to almost take out both of my cruisers. Remember, this is a custom match. I'm playing with nobody else. There's no players destroying my cruisers. This is just AI doing that damage. So it's actually really important to take care of the corvette, and also the targeting systems. Now, if you didn't know, of course the targeting systems greatly reduce the effectiveness of the turrets that are on that enemy flagship. Go ahead and take a look at this clip here where I'm flying around in a TIE interceptor at half speed, and the MC-75 just can't seem to kill me at all. More often than not, I was getting killed by AI pilots in this little fleet battle experiment. But what was really entertaining to me, I've never had this happen to me before, the AI actually got me down to 0% health. I was flying around here, and it was so bad that it couldn't even kill me. It actually let me fly around for a few extra seconds here with 0% hull health left. So definitely reduces the effectiveness of this turret, but take a look at how little passive damage happens to my ships now when I'm on defense. Of course, I've taken out the corvette, so that greatly reduces that impact as well. But look at this, 8 times speed. It is barely perceptible that any passive damage is happening at all. If I counted out the seconds, it takes about 12.5 seconds for 1% of health to be removed from my objectives. That is a huge nerf to the tune of around 600% less passive damage happening after those targeting systems are destroyed. That value cannot be understated, especially if you're in some really tight fleet battles or you're getting up really high into the ranks. When I was casting the Orange Invitational, I was really surprised that the teams who were destroying those targeting systems, prioritizing those as the first subsystem to destroy, were most often the ones that were winning. It was kind of crazy because it is so counter to the current meta in Star Wars Squadrons. So I highly encourage you to take this note out of the pro's playbook and give a chance at targeting the targeting subsystems. Prevent some of that passive damage from happening on your objectives. But this is far from the only trick of the pros. Something I've been working on recently are Goliath skill shots. If you watched my video from the other day, Untold Tips and Tricks about Star Wars Squadrons, I spoke about how Goliath missiles can fly 2,000 meters when dumbfired. Well, if you fire these at the exact right location at the start of a match, you can actually destroy an entire squadron of enemy AI starfighters. Follow that up with some multi-lock missiles on a second set of AI starfighters, and you've got yourself an instant flip in the first dogfight. If you want to see a little bit more about these, because they are very map specific and time intensive to make sure you leave me a comment on this video. See y'all down in the comments. In the meantime, I'm not amazing, I'm just mediocre, and I'm out.